Welcome to r/Bestof Redditor updates, where OP's cousin becomes obsessed with OP's stripper wife. Our next Reddit post is from Throwaway. 8 years ago, my cousin Joe was getting married. He invited me to his bachelor party. It was me and a bunch of his weird friends that I was uncomfortable around. I spent the whole night nursing a beer, waiting for it to end. Towards the end of the night, his best man, whose name I can't even remember, had 2 strippers come. I hated the idea, so I continued to nurse the beer while the girls entertained them. A week later, while I was at the gym, a pretty girl I couldn't quite place comes up to me and starts making small talk. I ask her how I know her, and she says she was the entertainment at a party that I was at. I was surprised by how different she looked compared to that night. Long story short, I end up asking her out. Her name is Audrey. It turns out Audrey had only been stripping for a few months. I believed her, but her other friends confirmed it. And she ended up quitting a few weeks after we started dating. I was clearly uncomfortable with it, and she didn't really like it. She's never been ashamed about it, but we haven't told anyone in our family about it, and Joe kept his mouth shut because I asked him to. She's still friends with some girls who still strip, and I think that some of my friends put 2 and 2 together but haven't been rude or anything. Just made the usual "I'm jealous" jokes. Anyways, we've had 2 great kids, a 5-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter, and we're thinking about having 1 or 2 more. Joe's always been super quiet around Audrey, probably because of how they met, until recently after his divorce. He started complimenting my wife's physical appearance, like every time he sees her. I've told him to lay off, but he hasn't so far. One incident in particular where he said something about the kids not ruining her figure really pissed me off. And I bowed up on him, and he apologized, saying he was drunk. We were at a family barbecue. I calmed down and realized I wasn't going to beat his butt in front of my whole extended family and my kids. I told him not to talk about my wife again. This has really come to a head because my cousin sent my wife a love letter asking her to leave me and start a life with him. She sent a reply email just saying, "No thank you." What do I do here? I love my family, I love my extended family, and I want my wife to be comfortable around them, and she can't with Joe there. Audrey doesn't want me to tell my family that he's making her uncomfortable because she's afraid Joe will let out the fact that she used to be a stripper. I told her I'd be okay with that, but she's pretty adamant about not wanting them to know. Another thing is, Joe hasn't done anything that would require legal action. He's been acting like a teenager with a crush. And my wife admitted that she doesn't feel like she's in any kind of danger. I told her that we need to watch him carefully, but I don't know if there's much we can do on this front. My wife has just been terrified that he's going to tell my family. I've been there for her the best I can. She's afraid that one day our kids could find out if the whole family learns. Then, 2 days later, OP posted an update. Yesterday, my wife and I decided to show my parents Joe's email love letter. We learned a lot of things. 1, Joe has apparently seduced another one of our cousin's wives, as well as his uncle's wife. Joe's uncle is only 5 years older than him. Both times he sent a love letter, and both times he ignored them afterwards. I don't know why, but both of those couples are still together. All of them are religious, so maybe it has something to do with not wanting to get divorced. 2, the reason Joe got a divorce was because he would not stop cheating on his wife. 3, Joe came to his parents and the older family members, who I'll refer to as the old guard facetiously, and asked for help after being caught with the cousin's wife, saying he was sorry and that he had a problem. They decided to forgive him but put rules in place. 4, my parents already knew about Audrey. Joe had told his mom, who told my mom and her sister. My mom told my dad. Audrey started crying at this point, but my parents gave her a hug and told her they didn't care. It was great, and after some tears, we went back to the house. My parents told me the old guard was going to talk to Joe. Apparently, Joe told everyone there about Audrey by trying to say that her being around set him back. Everyone didn't know about the stripping, except for my parents and Joe's parents. He claimed that she made the first move. He also said that he slept with her on Tuesday while I was at work. That was completely false because I had started working from home a month ago. I was at home all day with my wife. The fallout has been horrible. Apparently, I was already the black sheep because my family doesn't go to church. We've received various messages denouncing us, the worst being from the parents of Lisa. Lisa is like a sister to me. Her parents moved in with mine and we lived together. Lisa turned 17 recently, and her parents aren't allowing her to be at our house anymore. She used to come over all the time. My wife is crushed. I've been holding her as much as I can, and I know our kids are making her feel better, but she told me that her worst nightmare came true. She still thinks that going to my parents was the right idea though. My parents are still supporting us. The younger group who aren't living with their parents won't cut us out. I've pretty much written off the rest of the family. I'll try to have my parents explain that she had nothing to do with Joe, but if they don't listen, they don't listen. Lisa also doesn't believe it, but besides a text saying she doesn't want to stop being around us, we haven't heard from her. What? I don't understand why this extended family is willing to accept serial adultery, but stripping is where they draw the line? What about the guy who ordered the strippers in the first place? That's totally fine? What a bunch of hypocrites. Our next Reddit post comes from rSlash. I'm a 30-year-old woman, and my husband Leo is 34. We've been together for 7 years, married for 4 of them. We don't have any kids, and we don't intend to. 2 years ago, Leo asked me for an open marriage. I was devastated at the time. I couldn't understand why he didn't just want me. I couldn't even comprehend the idea of sharing him either. He gave me the same song and dance a lot of men give their spouses. Swore up and down that he loved me, I just wasn't fulfilling his needs. He needed more than what I could give. It was just to spice up their life. It was just intercourse, etc. I did ask if there was someone else, and he said no. To this day, I'm still not sure if I believed him. But at the time, I was angry and hurt and said no. He pestered me to change my mind for a week before giving me an ultimatum. Open marriage or divorce. I chose the open marriage. I just couldn't bear the thought of him leaving me at the time. We have rules. We can't bring any partners home. We have to get tested for STDs every 3 months, and 1 weekend out of the month must be left free for us time. Any money we spend on or with our partners must come from our personal accounts. I didn't partake in the open marriage myself for the first 3 months. Leo obviously did right away. He seemed to be gone or out late almost all the time, but he always acted so happy and loving towards me while I felt like I was dying inside. It killed me to think that he was sleeping with other women, and I felt so lonely and unattractive and not good enough. I told my sister Katie, who's 26, and a few close friends everything. Katie told me to just play his game and be part of the open marriage too. If he can sleep around, so could I. I honestly didn't have much confidence in myself at the time. I'm a bit overweight, and I've never considered myself conventionally pretty. I was afraid this would just humiliate me further. Katie and my best friend Jessie set up my online dating profiles for me. I got so many matches that it was overwhelming. When I told Leo, he was surprised, but told me to do whatever I thought was best. Jessie helped me choose my first date, and I actually had a great time. He didn't pressure me for intercourse and took me out to drinks and dinner. We did eventually passionately hug, but it was all just casual and we didn't see each other for a couple of months after casual dating. The first guy really made me feel more confident in myself, so I kept going on dates with men. A lot of them wanted to treat me to meals, so I didn't have to spend much of my own money. Not only that, but some of the men have given me the best passionate hugging I've ever had in my life. Almost like the kind of passionate hugging you read about in romance novels. It's been amazing. I'm currently seeing 2 different men alongside my husband, Leo. Mark, who's 38, is more of a steady boyfriend that I've been with for about 6 months. And then Steven, who's 25, is very casual, mostly just hanging out and intercourse. They know about my open marriage and other relationships, and they're fine with it. My husband has not been so lucky. In the beginning, he definitely was. He was always out and about and didn't seem to care even when I started dating too. But now he just complains a lot and hasn't been going out much. He whines about how he's usually the one spending money. A lot of women he tries to be with want an emotional connection before passionate hugging. He often wants to be with younger women, but they want younger men. He's also been upset that I go out with random guys so often while he's at home alone all the time. He hasn't asked us to close the marriage yet, but I feel like he will soon. He keeps saying he misses us and wants to spend more time together. He's tried to initiate passionate hugging a lot more too. He wants to go on dates and go on vacations and all that stuff more and more. And he gets upset when I tell him I can't because I've already scheduled to do stuff with my partners, mostly Mark. Honestly, I don't think I love Leo anymore. I care about him, but I just don't love him. I'm not saying I love Mark or Steven, but I honestly feel closer to Mark nowadays than I do Leo. Mark makes me feel comfortable and safe. And I love spending time with him more than my own husband. Steven is funny and sweet and really good in the bedroom. My friends Katie and Jesse have been wanting me to divorce for a year now. But I was afraid of hurting my husband, and I thought I still loved him. But I think my love for him died when he asked for this open marriage in the first place. Seeing him get all pissy about it now just because he's not benefiting from it is also a turnoff for me too. But I don't know if divorce is the best option. I still care about him, and I still don't want to hurt him. Maybe if he finally asks to close the marriage, we can talk about it then. Then, 1 week later, OP posted an update. This past Saturday, we had the big talk. I initiated it, but he didn't seem too surprised. I just told him that I noticed he didn't seem to like me going out with Mark or Steven and asked if there was a problem. He said there was, but he didn't ask me to close the marriage. He just asked me if I still loved him. I said something like, "Not like I used to." He broke down crying, which made me cry. I guess he had known for a while that I wasn't in love with him anymore, but he had hoped that he could win me back if he funneled all of his energy into me. I was honest and told him that during those first 3 months of our open marriage, I think my love for him died and I just couldn't get it back. I did tell him that I still cared about him and that I did love him, but it's just not the same that it was. He asked if I loved Mark or Steven, and I said no. I like being with them and I care about them a lot, but I can't say I'm in love with either of them. I also finally asked him why he wanted the open marriage in the first place. A lot of you in the comments said he already had someone lined up, and you were right. He had someone at work he was interested in, and she wanted him too. The open marriage was just to get permission. He honestly never expected me to also get my own partner because of how unconfident I was. But he didn't want to stop me either because he thought nothing would come of it. He didn't really like me seeing other men, but he knew it wouldn't have been fair to tell me no when I gave him permission first. I guess Mark and Steven made him insecure because I was spending so much time with them on a regular basis. The open marriage was just intercourse on the side for him. He only did hookups and they never lasted long. He genuinely always just loved only me. But he thought that I was falling in love with my partners and he was losing me and wanted to win me back. We cried a lot and talked a lot. We decided to get a divorce. Since the house is in his name, I'm gonna move out and live with Katie for a while. He told me I didn't have to, and I could stay until the divorce was finalized, but I just can't. It's too hard to even look at him sometimes. I don't know how I feel, to be honest. I thought I would be relieved or sad, but I'm just tired. I wish I could have been like all you wanted me to be, clapping back or being sarcastic and snarky or rubbing it in his face, but I don't feel like I've won anything. I just feel lost. Reading Reddit posts has convinced me that one of the most effective ways to destroy your marriage is to ask to open it. I'm sure there are couples out there who have successfully made the transition, but Reddit certainly makes it seem like it is a disaster waiting to happen. That was r/Bestof Redditor updates, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.